to do that, and we had to, that was another £6 each, the SPTH form, which is a health form for, and that was a nightmare because we actually did it wrong.
Speaking exclusively to LBC, the chief executive of Birmingham Airport, Nick Barton, said it's positive things are going in the right direction.
It's certainly a step forward. There's no question about it. Some really very good routes added to it. But crucially, there was very little going back on where we've been previously, which I think has been an issue for many travellers.
Elsewhere today, the number of alerts sent by the NHS COVID-19 app in England and Wales has dropped dramatically. The number being pinged and told to self-isolate went down by 43%. Earlier this week, it was announced that the app is going to be tweaked to make it less sensitive. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 vaccine rollout in England is estimated to have directly averted nearly 67,000 hospital admissions, according to new figures from Public Health England. Estimates had put the figure at more than 52,000. In Wales, the Welsh Government are considering whether to approve the lifting of most remaining COVID restrictions. First Minister Mark Drakeford has suggested nightclubs could open on Saturday, while social distancing would be scrapped. But one minister, Rebecca Evans, has defended leaving the decision until the last minute, with some nightlife venues planning to open at midnight on Friday.
The First Minister's trailed for a while that we could be moving to alert level 0 on 7th of August if the public health situation allows. And we're still continuing to have discussions as a cabinet, so we met this thing this morning again to talk through these issues, including nightclubs and so on. So there'll be further discussions going on before the FM's announcements tomorrow.
Looking at how the virus is affecting parts of the world now, Australia's second-largest city, Melbourne, is going into its 6th lockdown, with the government leader blaming the nation's slow vaccination rollout. It joins Sydney and Brisbane in locking down due to the spread of the Delta variant, and restrictions could be in place for 7 weeks. Victoria Daniel Andrews says his government had no other choice because only 20% of Australian adults have been fully vaccinated. And Tokyo has reported a record 1,000 new daily COVID cases as infections of the Japanese capital hosts the Olympics. The Prime Minister has denied the Games have led to a rise in infections.
Lindsay Alder with the COVID report. Talking about the music business post-Brexit and in the midst of COVID, Graham says, I tour and work with many bands. This announcement is a smokescreen, but the real problem, which is one of moving equipment and transport across EU borders. For small to medium-sized bands, the situation is now financially impossible. You can text 84850 0345 973. Joe says, love that rap from Lewis. He was banned again. I'll tell you after the headlines from Thomas Watts.
The head of British Airways has warned the UK is lagging behind Europe in easing coronavirus travel restrictions. 7 men have been jailed for the murder of a law student in Blackburn who was by a hitman's string. More than 10,000 migrants have now made the journey across the English Channel in small boats. The weather cloudy, rain across the UK tonight, a low of 14.
LBC Travel, I'm Anne-Marie Walsh on the M1 northbound in Derbyshire. It's queuing for minutes from junction 29 at Chesterfield to Tib Shelf Services as the lane is closed for emergency repairs following an accident earlier. In Cheshire, it's slow moving on the M6 southbound. Accident between junction 18 for Holmes Chapel and 17 for Crewe. And in the West Midlands, it's queuing 6 both ways between 6 at Spaghetti Junction towards 7 at Great Bar because the hard can't open as a live lane. That's following a technical problem.
This is LBC. What's that? It's totally down. Jeff's web hosting business urgently needs a senior systems engineer if he wants to keep his client Cloud 9.
No, don't worry. We'll get it.
Indeed can click with the right person with video interviews.
I know Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule and conduct video interviews easily. All on Indeed. To start hiring, visit indeed.com/try.
Eddie Mayer, 0345 6060 973 LBC.
There's quite like that doorbell moment when your McDelivery arrives. Or snaffling fries on the way back to the living room. There's nothing quite like the taste of a Big Mac at home. And nothing quite like the kids enjoying that meal in perfect peace. For a minute, anyway. There's nothing quite like a McDelivery. Order now on the My McDonald's app or via Uber Eats Just Eat. At participating restaurants only. Serving time delivery fees apply. See the My McDonald's Uber Eats or Just Eat for full details.
Feels so good knowing pension combined your old pensions into a simple pension. Be confident.
Authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Capital at risk.
There's something big going on at Tesco. Big brands at small prices. Not just hundreds of Tesco price matched with Aldi, but lots of brands too. So you can do a big shop and save yourself a trip. Tesco. Every little helps.
Prices checked to match on hundreds of comparable products from GVLD stores and or online twice. This is most often found matched, excluding stores, excluding Ireland. Products and availability vary by go.com/Aldi product match.
Philip Schofield here. Did you know we.com can help settle any outstanding finance on your car? Sort it all out for you. And did you know you can't hug whilst holding your nose? No? BD. Not as useful as settling outstanding finance, but good to know. You'll enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Here comes half-price unlimited data SIMs in O2's best ever summer sale. Here comes unlimited streaming of the latest flicks, unlimited playlists, unlimited video calling, unlimited gaming. Here comes not having to be shy with your data. Here comes an unlimited sum.
With O2, you can now get half-price unlimited data SIMs for just £15 a month for the first 6 months in our best ever summer sale. Search your only.
Plus RPI with a 3.9% increase ends 11 August. Eligibility and terms apply. We can all do our bit for our environment. You can now recycle soft plastics like crisp packets and bread bags at Co-op. All you have to do is clean it, scrunch it, and Co-op it. Co-op is what we do. Selected Co-op group stores. For more details about which plastics you can recycle with us, just go to coop.co.uk/soft-plastics.
Eddie Mayer on LBC.
With Surge, get back to your business.
We are talking about the music business after the Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sport started trumpeting, no pun intended, I've no idea whether they have a trumpet, this negotiation they've done with 19 countries. The government says it allows musicians and performers from the UK to conduct short tours visa-free, because there's such a lot of complaint about what Brexit has done in addition to COVID, to the ability of people in entertainment to tour on the continent. Well, as you've heard, there's been no love for the substance of this announcement, and we'll get to more comments and tweets on this. You can call 0345 6060 we already heard from Lewis, who's from the band Dishing Tangent, DISHYTANGENT. Before we get to more of that, this time tomorrow, it's Simon Marx's American Week, when he takes some time to round up everything of note that's happened in that country. Every Thursday at this time, in order to whet our appetite, Simon sends us just one word, to tease us, to tempt us, to give us a clue, a preview as to what's going to be this big American Week at this time tomorrow. We like to call Simon Marx's American Week Word of the Week, shame. Now here's Jonathan in Leeds. Jonathan, the music business, how are you getting on?
Hello, yeah, it's been an interesting 18 months so far, and it's still not an end point, I don't think, for us. It's a strange, I think, compound effect, as you say, Brexit, but obviously the COVID situation, and we're not quite sure when the end will be, when we can get back to normal.
So what do you do?
So I'm most notably the blonde guy at G4 Vocal Harmony Group, and we tour traditionally extensively over, and we have a great doing that, and then do various other tours and shows independently around it. And it literally just stopped when COVID, I say it was December, the last real big I've done. Pre the lockdown, there was confidence in the industry to be able to continue with shows. Everything's been pulled ever since, and we're still, at the moment, decided to autumn tour due to lack of confidence with it and the inability to market in the normal way. One thing people are forgetting is how to market for shows. You see something, and when you're coming out of the show, you see a poster, a flyer, something else, and then you start to look, and it's a lovely perpetual cycle of content and fun and escapism, which is what entertainment traditionally is, because there's not been the shows, not the ability to market to audiences. So that's been very difficult, and who knows when the rules will change again. And the Brexit rules, it's an interesting addition for us, but I don't think it's going to dramatically help out. As somebody said prior, the issue with touring equipment is that we put it all in flight. There's a huge quantity of different things that the guys talk for, and you have to open every single case and prove what's in there with money, and that, unless they can resolve that on top, I think will only really help soloists going out to do oratorios and orchestras and that kind of work, which is, and I do think that people in that industry will be very, very grateful of this change, and I think it's very positive for that. But I think with bands touring and other productions, I think it's still going to be a very difficult time.
Jonathan, good to hear from you. Thank you. Here's Paul in Nottingham. Hi, Paul. Tell me about you.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. Yeah, operations beyond theatre. What we specialise in is entertainment experiences. So, for instance, we've got a new show this year, which is going on at Manchester Cathedral at the end of this month, and it's an immersive rock opera. The point of the conversation is that I've been listening to very interested to hear exactly knocking on the government fairly perpetually, but I'm at the sharp end. We've been very badly hurt. We wrote this show to go on just as COVID decided to intervene, so we had to postpone UK tours, so we got badly hurt. But to be fair to the government, they didn't know how to deal with this. When they were projecting all the time with assumptions that the virus levels would be controllable. And when you look at the core problems, which at the outset were the need for good ventilation, social distancing, and masks, which were the three ingredients they were looking to control the virus, very hard to be helped to actually do the right thing for an industry that's desperately crying out for something that I don't think the government could really be expected to be able to supply.
Paul, thank you. Here's Ben. Hi, Ben. Tell me about you.
Afternoon. Yeah, I'm in a band myself, and we're quite extensively around Europe. And just as your previous callers have said, I'm a little bit, worried how things are going to change now with all the rules surrounding Brexit, to be honest.
What was touring like before?
Oh, fantastic.
Where did you
go? We do extensive. We've done kind of before children. We would do 6 weeks away, so we'd tour quite a lot of European countries. But we were lucky enough to kind of be able to maybe two of us in the band. So we were lucky enough if we would, had a couple of weeks notice of a gig. We could kind of go away for the weekend and do the gig and come and stuff. But I just think it's likely to change now with all the different, and like what the previous caller said, all and stuff, it's all little things that you didn't have to worry about before that have, now kind of, come in that's made things better.
So what are you doing then for a living?
I'm a tutor, so in that respect, same as everyone really, my is surrounded by music, so I'm a tutor in the week, and then I'm, a musician kind of on the weekends and when we tour and stuff. So everything we do is music, But yeah, I'm just really sad now with how things are likely to change, and I feel sorry for the new bands that are coming through. Like everyone said, that all the bands are just starting up, they're going to get their feet into Europe. It just seems very difficult.
What's the name of the band?
Henry's Funeral.
Ben, I thought it was a bad line, but it sounded like you said the name of your band, Henry's Funeral Shoe.
No, the line's fine. Yeah.
Right. Do you want to explain what that's about?
To be honest, it's a bit of a tale being that. So I don't think we've got a lot.
Hello, mate. How'd you get on? Got it?
Yes.
Oh, well done. What, is it a new one or is it repaired?
It's repaired.
It's repaired. Only in Malta, eh?
Yeah, that's still now.
Yeah, fair enough.
We also have 7
Somebody thinking, oh, that's
soda thinking.
Oh, what, the liquid, yeah?
What kind of music do you do? Is it pure?
Right?
no, it's not. It's rock and roll blues, eh?
And you
Seven Up, Miranda, Pepsi.
I'm the drummer, I'm the one at the back and the noise.
And do you own the
Soda Stream never made a nice
I
Pepsi.
own the drums, yeah. We own.
I mean, when I was a kid, probably when I was a little bit older than you, I gave up on their Pepsi.
Same as everyone, we just happened to kind of get some gigs back in now.
I don't remember.
The last gig we did was 2020, maybe the tail end of 2019.
And you said you're glad now, Ben. If your children are to be musical, and I'm sure they will, would you encourage them to get into this business?
Good question. I definitely would.
We're having dinner now, or
yeah, might take long.
And you know, music has allowed me to see the world. Today, benefit and get the benefit from now, you know. So yeah,
have a look at
I think music,
my Facebook and see if I'm streaming live.
Really good to hear from you. Good luck with Henry's shoe.
Yeah, and your...
Hi, tell me about you.
I'm live now, yeah? Is it streaming okay, John? Is it jittery?
Yeah, it's jittery. It's very jittery.
We were halfway. We just started the tour when COVID hit. I think on the 13th of March last year. I think it was the 16th, roughly, that we went lockdown. Actually was struck down with COVID quite soon after, actually. So we had kind of big experience of that. We had a whole year all planned out. Sweden Rock Festival, Herzberg, some stuff in Croatia, Norway, all got pushed aside for the COVID. Coming out of that, hopefully, fingers crossed, and we're now dealing with the Brexit issue, which we've had to reschedule our European tour 3 times now. We're supposed to be going on the 23rd of February, and we're talking yesterday. I think that all these countries now are allowing us
which does include Slovenia and Sweden. That's how those countries are on the list.
It does. It's also a bit of kind of old news. I think in the fact that we've known for a while that certain countries, France, Germany, we've got that 90-day visa, work visa-free movement. We've had that for a while. Many of the borders are set on that, and the tax as well. The amount of tax we have to pay on every item of merch we take, as well as supplies like Spain, where we have to go through cereal and others, and we take an awful lot of equipment for piece bands. It actually worked out cheaper for us to fly everyone in and hire the band, the driver, and the back line in Germany.
Roscoe, thank you very much for the call. Now, lines with what Steve has told me on text. This means equipment, lighting, stagehands have to be hired in the EU. Even though it seems like they're making a concession to allow musicians in, they're not. It's win, win, win for them, and unemployment for low back and front stage, not to mention truckers. And Jules says, music is everything. One of Britain's biggest exports. The Brexit lead has destroyed dreams and opportunities in its stupid, narrow-minded chaos. Truly unforgivable. Now, from today's podcast, Steve Allen, a little bit extra, which you can catch on Global Player. Here is the Steve Allen about the night.
What a boring and long baggage you turned out to be.
This is LBC. The headlines at 5 o'clock. The UK COVID figures for the last 24 hours. Deaths, 86. New cases, 30,000. Vaccinations, 200,000. Red list scramble to escape Mexico.
It's an inexplicable situation within our everything all possible, unfortunately.
England says a fifth of COVID hospital admissions are aged 18 to 30. Falling.
It will be relief to small businesses, particularly hospitality industry, pubs, restaurants, and so on, that have been seeing staff shift because so many are being told to isolate.
7 men jailed for more than 200 years for mugging students.
We're going to live the rest of our lives without our engine. So, I would like to thank the police for the hard work. I hope these people rot in prison.
Also tonight, the Mound.
Jump out, John.
Tourist attraction. We have a report. On your radio.
I'm going to get my bag from the back seat.
Okay.
LBC.
Leading Britain station. This is LBC. From Global at 5 o'clock. Men have been jailed for murdering a law student caught up in a drive-by shooting.